Okay, so now we are in part 3. Here we have to create a numbered IP ACL rule number 120 on R1, that is permitting any outside host to access DNS, SMTP and FTP services on the server. That is PCA. On the left hand side the server we have got any outside host will be able to access DNS, SMTP and FTP service, and we have to deny any outside host to access HTTPS service on the PCA, that is on server. And let's see if we allow permit PCC to access R1 via SSH. Of course that will be allowed. That will be tried to access R1 from PCC through SSH, but first we have to block this service, HTTPS service. So the step number 1 here, that first thing we have to do is like this, verify like whether it is first, like it is accessible or not. So from PCC we will try to access PCA via HTTPS using the web browser. Okay, so before we actually fire this commands, before we implement this ACL, so let's see whether it is visible or not. So let's go to PCA here it is, and if you click on it and you go to the services, of course all the services are on. So if you click on HTTP, of course HTTP services are on. Okay, there are already the web pages are here. So let's close this, and we know the IP address of this PCA, that is 192.168.1.2. 1 was given to the router, 2 was given to the server. So let's go to the PC and go to the web browser, and let's try to access that server through web browser now by putting the IP address. So 192.168.1.2, enter. So as you all can see, we are able to see the web page. That means the web server, the HTTP protocol service is on. Okay, for this PC C also from PCA. So now we have to restrict that. Okay, so what we can do here, let's close this. Okay, so now step number 2, that is we have to configure the ACL 120 to specifically permit and deny the specified traffic, and for that we have to fire all these commands on router number R1 router in the configuration mode. So first router says that access the list rule number 120 permit UDP any host to this IP address, that is in our case this is 2. I'll just mention that is the IP address of our server is 1.2. So I will just make the changes here quickly. Okay, and this was 2. Yeah, so we are permitting UDP protocol on this host from any domain, equal to any domain. Same for TCP equal to SMTP, TCP, FTP we are allowing. So these 3 commands are like we are allowing the traffic of UDP, TCP, SMTP, FTP. Okay, and DNS also, DNS, SMTP, FTP via TCP and UDP we are allowing it. But we have to mention that we have to deny transmission control protocol, the service to TCP protocol, any host from which IP address you can see on the that server, the 443 which is related to HTTP, and permit TCP host 3.2 host to equal to 222, that is the SSH service we are able to access through PCC. Okay, so we just have mentioned the command here, permit the TCP host number, the PCC host, the right hand side PC. Okay, on the host 10.1.1, that was a router for in our case, and it should allow. Okay, so let's fire this command all together. Don't worry, I'll just put all these commands in the video description. So copy it, go to R1 CLI mode, you are in enable, get yourself into configuration mode, right click and paste it, and then enter. Okay, and the last final part, what we have to do, like apply the ACL access control list to interface, that interface serial. In our case it is serial 010, because we don't have serial 000, we have serial 010 and 011 interface for the router R1. Use the IP access group command to apply the access list to incoming traffic on the interface serial 010. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll fire this command interface, and then after that I'll just allow the ingress, that is incoming traffic. So copying it, going to R1. Okay, here we have to just mention the interface number from where the incoming traffic will come, of course from here, like here. And this is the interfaces. You all can see if I place the mouse, if I minimize this, if I place the mouse, I hope, yeah, it is serial 010. So switching back here, interface int, you can write full form also, full name also, interface se 0/1/0. Now we are in configuration interface mode, and we have to fire the command, that is IP access group 120 incoming allow, and enter, and done. So let's close this. Okay, and let's now verify whether the PCC is now able to access the HTTPS service. So click on this, go to web browser. If you try to connect to the same server 168.1.2, so now this time you can see we are not getting the web page. After clicking enter also, we are not able to reach. Okay, so that HTTP service is not available now on PCC from PCA. That part is done. So let me close this. But if I still try to connect router, okay, through SSH, I'll be able to do that. Okay, that was allowed. So let's go to command prompt. Okay, and let's fire this command from here. Let me connect SSH L login admin, not in this case now admin 2. I'm trying to connect router number 1, that is admin 1, and the IP address or the interface I want to connect is 10.1.1.1. Enter. It is asking me the password, so I'll enter the passwords, Cisco 1, enter, and I'm able to access the router R1 from PCC. So that was from part number 3 of this practical.
That's all guys from this video. If you really like this video, press like button and do subscribe to our channel. If any queries or suggestions, do comment below. For more such updates, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.